Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the next video in the mock interview series with UiPath Aspirant. For the people who are looking this series for the first time, in this series I am taking mock interview for candidate based on their resume, their experience and their skill set. Please note that this is just a mock interview. It is not for any client, any customer or any of the job opportunities. The format of the mock interview is absolutely simple. The candidate send me the resume. I set up some time. I take the mock interview and all the confidential details such as the name, the company name, the project information, everything remains confidential with me. Even the name which you see in the mock interview is changed. So you do not have to worry about any of the details. Once I receive the interview, I hide the details, we take the interview. At the end, I guide the candidate that what are the topics he needs to improve upon, and I also provide the feedback on the interview so that they can perform well in their live interview. In terms of cost, the cost of the mock interview is absolutely free for you. You don't have to pay me anything. You just have to send me your resume and we can set up a common time and I conduct a mock interview for you. In case your experience match this mock interview, you can go ahead and watch. But in case you are coming from a different experience, you can go back to the playlist. There we have a couple of mock interviews which are already taken. You can watch them, get some insight, and hopefully that should be helpful in your next interview. If you want to appear for such a mock interview, all you have to do is just drop me an email on the email ID which is available in the description. Having said that, let's get started with today's mock interview. Okay, so hi Rajesh. Today I have got your resume for the mock interview. Okay, the format of the mock interview is simple. I have a resume in front of me, and based on your resume, I am going to ask you questions. You will answer that at the end of the interview. I am going to give you the answers to the questions which you have answered incorrectly, the feedback for an interview, and the topics where you can improve upon. Right. So with that, can we start by having a quick introduction about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I have a currently I have like on UiPath like since 3.5 years,
Hmm.
where I have developed like automating desktop and web applications.
Okay.
Yeah, till now like I have
Hmm.
developed like 11 end-to-end bots with the uh, business requirements.
So 11 end-to-end
Yeah,
bots. Okay. So now, have you done any certification on UiPath?
uh, not technical.
Okay. Okay, so now out of this 11 project, Rajesh, I want you to talk about any one of the project which you are comfortable talking about. Okay. Tell me what was the problem statement which the automation is solving, right? What is the business problem which your automation is solving?
Yeah, sure. Actually, one of my project is which deals with monitoring the three emails in the
Mm-hmm.
business hours. It has to monitor like each 1 hour. They're like human interventions need to be there for all 8 hours. So based upon like my this automation, there would be like less effort on human interventions there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, this is the problem solving thing there,
Mm-hmm.
and the actual requirement was um, the bot should monitor into three emails. It should
Okay.
enter into each inbox and get the emails.
Mm-hmm.
And from it will be an filtering email which comes. There will be an from address.
Mm-hmm.
So it it holds the email which has attachments and it saves into an folder.
Mm-hmm.
And the attachment we need to extract, it is a PDF attachment where we need to extract all the data which we need to do in a desktop automation. And we need to reply to the particular email after the desktop automation was done. This was the problem statement and the requirement.
Okay, so if I understand it correctly, you have emails, you monitor them, you download the PDF, you extract the information from the PDF, you put it into some desktop application, and then you reply to the email, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, is this an attended or it's an unattended robot?
Yeah, it is an unattended.
Okay. And how it is scheduled? At what time?
It is like business hours. It
Hmm.
is around 8 hours a day. It comes like 7 to 5 or something.
Okay. So,
It will be like weekdays, only weekdays, like Monday to uh,
hmm,
Friday.
Monday to Friday. Okay. So, have you built this project in RE framework?
Yes, Mukesh, with the help of it.
And it is having dispatcher performer, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. What is the transaction item in this process?
Yeah. For this, in the transaction item, we will have the details of the email, like in subject, from and to addresses,
Mm-hmm.
and the path where the file is downloading,
Mm-hmm.
and the mail message, sorry, mail ID,
Mm-hmm.
which comes from the mail message. These are the things will be stored in a queue item, and um, in the transaction item, let it be processed.
Okay. So, how many transactions? So, let's say when you run the dispatcher, right, for all these three, right, how many items are added to
Yeah.
the queue in one run?
It depends on the frequency. It might be 100 once. It might be 200 emails.
Mm-hmm.
Depends upon the frequency on the day.
Okay. So, what is the
Yeah.
minimum and the maximum? Can you just give me an estimate?
Minimum it would be like an 50. Max it would be like 200.
Okay. And how much time does it take to complete one transaction?
For one transaction, it takes like uh, 2 minutes. Like not much to 2 minutes. Like
Hmm.
similar, it takes yeah, one transaction it takes like two.
Okay. Fine. So close to 120 minutes your automation is working, right? Okay.
Yes, Mukesh, sorry.
Okay. Now,
And a call.
yeah, no worries. So can you tell me that which activity we use to download this PDF from email in UiPath?
Yeah, we have like save attachment activity where we can download the attachments.
Mm-hmm.
We can give and filter like what the file we need to download. Like if
Okay.
you need PDF, we can give a PDF.
So let's say someday what happens, you receive three emails, or let's say all these emails, right? Whichever you receive, and there is no PDF which is attached to the email, right? So let's say the automation was supposed to read an email from a sender called ABC. The sender sends an email, but he forgot to send the PDF attachment, right?
Okay.
So how can we check whether the attachment is there or not?
Yeah, while entering into the, we are giving a conditions in the if condition like if the
Hmm.
mail attachment is any. So with the
Okay.
help of condition, if that contains any PDF, then only it is coming into the that if condition container.
Hmm.
If not, it is not going to do anything in the else.
Okay. And let's say if the attachment is not there, right? What do you do after that if the attachment is missing, right?
We are like the requirement, like we are not
Hmm.
doing anything. Like the requirement is like if there is any attachment in the email,
Mm-hmm.
then only we are going to processing it. If not, we are not doing anything.
Mm,
We are
okay.
just giving a log message.
Okay. So what do you think? Should it be a business exception? No,
Um, yeah, actually, regarding the business side, it is not an business exception.
it's not a business exception.
Yeah. Yeah. Based upon the requirement,
Okay.
like
Okay. But what
yeah.
do you feel? Is it a business exception or not?
like when I went to the
Huh.
project shows it won't be a business exception.
Okay,
Um,
fine. So let's say I have a requirement that I want to generate a business exception. Okay, if the
okay.
attachment is not there, okay, I want to generate a business exception. How can I do that?
Yeah. Yeah, in the else statement we can give an throw activity
Okay.
to throw a business exception there and it will stops it.
Uh-huh.
So
Hmm. Okay, fine. So you
yeah.
will throw a business exception and then you extract this data from subject, all these things, and you will add it to the queue, right? Which activity you are using to add data to the queue?
Add queue item
Mm-hmm.
where we are going to we are using add queue item for giving a reference
Mm-hmm.
without duplicating the queue items,
So what is your
and we are
unique
giving a
reference in
prefix.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is your unique reference in this
Yeah.
project?
Here, like in the subject, we will get an number.
Mm-hmm.
So each email in the subject will have an some like we can say
Hmm.
some reference number will be there in the subject. So we
Okay.
are going to pull the reference number and we are keeping it in the prefix as well as the date and time.
Okay, so that becomes your unique reference. That data is added to the queue, right? Now you'll go to
Yeah.
performer. Okay. So now in the performer, you have to just add that data to an application, right?
Yes.
What happens someday if let's say you read a transaction, okay, and that generates a business exception, sorry, a system exception. Let's say the application which you have to insert the data, right? The desktop application, it's not opening, right? So the robot goes, it click on that application, it does not open, right? What happens to the process now?
Mhm. Yeah.
So what would happen if
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
desktop application is not
Yeah.
working?
It won't enter into the get transaction data. So
Okay.
it enters into end state.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So it is not going to process for other queue items.
No, but it
Why? Because
is
in initialization state, yeah,
uh-huh. No, but
we are
you
opening the application.
right. So you have 10 items, right? So let's say you
Yeah.
have 10 items in the queue. First item comes, it goes to the init, it fails, it goes to the end state, and then the second item will again come, right?
Uh, it won't. Why? Because the items, everything will be stored in get transaction data where we are getting the data from queue. So
Okay.
it won't proceed to other. It will stop the process.
Okay, but only one item has failed, right? What about the others?
Yeah. Actually, while starting the process, it enters in the init state. So
Mm-hmm.
if the application was not open, it does not enters into the get transaction state.
Okay.
So the queue items will be in the new states only. Like it is not going to do further actions. It will
Hmm.
stop the process whether the application was not opening.
Okay. Okay, understood. So let's say I have a different question now, right? So let's say while processing the item, right now you are in the get transaction, you have got the item, the application is open, and while processing, you get a system exception. Okay,
Okay.
so first item number one was in new status, right? You process it and it got into system exception. So what would be the status of the queue item now if it is failed? It's failed, right? The first
Yeah,
transaction
it
would
will be failed.
fail,
Yeah.
right? The second comes and
Yes.
the second also fails. The third come and the third
Okay.
also fails, right? Because there is
Yeah.
some issue with the application, let's say, right? Now,
Okay. In the middle of the application. Okay.
right, end application is having some issue. Now, I am the, let's say, business or somebody, right? And I see that, hey, I have got so many items in the queue, right? So chances are there that if I run all the items, all the 100 items, right, all of them are going to fail, right? Because there is some issue with the application. How can
Yes.
I want to have a mechanism where I say that after I got three exception, I don't want to
Yeah.
run the process?
Yeah. If we go to the config file and the
Hmm.
data folder,
Uh-huh.
we can see a max consecutive number.
Okay.
So if we are giving any number into that, if we give any three, it checks till three system exceptions and it won't process to other items. It stops the process till three exception system exception occurs.
Okay. So till the time three system exception occurs. Okay. So what is that property?
In the config file, max consecutive error or something.
Okay. Max consecutive system exception. Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, system.
Okay.
Uh, Other thing we can do, I think maybe global exception handler.
Okay.
Uh, it does retries for the three times,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we can close terminate the process.
Okay. Understood. Okay. So uh that is done. Okay. So in case in my RE framework, right, I need to work with Excel, right? Instead of the queues, I want to use the RE framework with Excel. How can I do that?
Yeah, yeah, we can do that. In the init
Okay.
state, we need to initialize Excel as a
Mm-hmm.
data table in init
In which
state.
state? Sorry.
Yeah, init state. The
Okay.
first initialization state.
Mm-hmm.
At the place where the orchestrator name we are fetching from the orchestrator, sorry, the queue name from the orchestrator.
Mm-hmm.
At the place we need to initialize our Excel file,
Okay.
read the Excel file, and
Hmm.
we are converting the Excel file into data table.
Okay.
And after reading the Excel file, we need to go to get transaction state.
Mm-hmm.
Where we need to remove the get transaction activity, and we need to give a condition. Uh, Before that, we need to change the variables where there are queue items. We need to change as an data row.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the condition would be like a transaction number.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like 1 while working with queue, we need to change it to 0. So
Okay.
the condition we need to write as a transaction number
Hmm.
should be less than the data rows count.
Hmm.
This would be the condition we need to write in the get transaction
Okay. And what
data.
would be the transaction
Mm.
item in this case?
Yeah, the out transaction will be like a data row.
Hmm.
Yeah. And
Okay.
after that, while we are going in the process, we are fetching uh, the names, the row column names, column data,
Hmm.
and the changes in sys like uh, the
No, no. Okay.
exception
I understand. I understand.
scenarios.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. I got you. I got the answer which I was looking for. Okay. So
Okay.
I'm in your resume, right? So you have mentioned that you are using Git, right? Can you tell me why do you use Git?
Yeah.
What is the
To
benefit of?
store,
Hmm.
the development which we have done, that would be stored in a GitHub. We have two repositories. Like one is for dev and one is for UAT, and another is for CRON.
Hmm.
This helps us to store our data secured.
Hmm.
We have we have developed the data, and sometimes we may uh, close, or suddenly the system crashes or something. With
Mm-hmm.
the help of this, the data will be stored securely, like it saves in the repository,
Hmm.
so that we will have one backup while working with these repositories.
Okay.
And this will be linked with some Jira tool or an TFS.
Mm-hmm.
While we link with this, we can do some manipulations in the TFS, like after committing it or push.
Hmm. Okay. Now, I want to ask you some question on the orchestrator, right? So if I have to store a username and password, right, which kind of assets should I
Mhm.
create?
In assets, we need to create a credential type.
Hmm. Okay, we create a credential asset, right? Okay, so I have a requirement, okay, where as soon as the item is added to the queue, I want to trigger the process, right? So I have a simple requirement that if the process A adds a item to the queue, I want to immediately start a new process, right? Is it possible to do such setup in
Yeah,
UiPath? How can that be
yeah,
done?
that is queue trigger.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
When the new item is coming, like a new item is stored in the queue,
Hmm.
we can trigger our process. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Done. So that was my last question to you. Okay. And I am done with my set of questions. Let's immediately come to your feedback, right? Overall, your interview is very good, right? So you have answered me almost all the questions correctly, including the save attachment, mail attachment, unique reference. Your understanding of RE framework is also good, right? I can feel that yes, you have a good enough experience in working with RE framework. I tried you giving some trick questions on that init all settings and all, right? So you have answered me all of that correctly. You also gave me the max consecutive system exception. Everything good, right? What needs to be improved for you is the project explanation, right? Your project is good,
Okay.
right? But what you are not able to do is you're not able to communicate that thing properly. Okay. So when you explained me your project, right, initially I was not able to made what exactly is this project, right? So maybe one thing you need to do is you need to work upon the project. Explain your project,
Yeah.
go back, write that question, write that answer in a piece of paper, right, and then revise it, right, and add more details on it, right, such as what are the system involves, what is the business problem, what are the applications, how we are doing it, what are the benefits, right? That is one area.
Okay.
The second biggest improvement for you would be your resume, right? Your
Okay.
resume has one two projects, right, project 1 and project 2, which you have
Yeah.
mentioned, right? Now if you see yourself, your project 2 and project 3 are exactly copy paste.
Project one and
No, project 2 and project
yeah.
3 are exactly the copy paste. I don't know if it is your resume or you have just copy pasted it from your friend, right? The roles and
Uh,
responsibility are exactly the same,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, that same.
Exactly copy paste, right?
Yeah.
And there are some copy
Yeah.
paste in the first also. Roles and responsibility there. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 bullets in your resume which you have pasted 3 times. First in the roles and response in okay, so in the project 1 also you have 7 bullets which are exactly same. In the project 2,
Yeah.
7 bullets exactly same. Project 3
Yeah.
exactly same, right?
Yeah. The three roles are same for that, so I have
No,
given
but
this. Yeah.
if you see, right, if I am looking that resume, right, if I am somebody
Yeah.
who is looking into this resume, I can clearly see it's a copy paste, right? So you
Yeah.
have a good experience, but your CV might get rejected in the CV screening, right? Because it's just a copy paste.
Yeah.
I can clearly see. The only thing which is changing
Yeah.
is the title, right?
Yeah.
So
Title and the description.
correct, right? So what you need to do is be specific to that project, right? So when you say that you are working on this release project, right? So talk about that project, right? Talk about the responsibility, right? There would be something different, right? In one you would have done, right? And add more details, right? Maybe which all things you have used. Let's say you have used in this project, right? Let's talk about this example. Here you have done PDF automation, email automation. Here you have done RE framework, dispatcher, performer, right? So you have done a lot of things, right? Add those details and make it different, right? It is exactly copy paste, and
Yeah.
that might not work while your CV is getting shortlisted, right? The other thing is
Okay.
the font in your CV is different. I don't know if you have noticed that or not, but the font somewhere is very big, somewhere it's very small, right? So in your employment details, the font is different, and your project section, the font is different, right? So it does not impact much, but when you say that, okay, we are creating a professional resume, right? So at least take care of these things like spelling mistakes. I see spelling mistakes on a resume, right? Spelling mistakes, the font is different, right? Even the logo of UiPath which you have used is a blue color one, right? That's not the logo.
Mhm.
Now UiPath logo is the new one, right? So
Yeah,
this shows that you are not serious in creating the resume, right? Which might not be the case, or you might have not think in that way, right? So I want you to work on your resume. Fine. Okay.
yeah,
Now over to you. How was your feedback? Any, it was good, it
yeah.
was
It
helpful.
was, yeah, it was really helpful to me.
Okay. Do you
I,
think that this feedback will
yeah,
help you for your main interview?
yeah, it's really very helpful to me for further things.
Okay.
And
Okay.
okay.
Great. Then
Thanks,
thank you for
Mukesh. Yeah,
joining, and please work on these points and you should be all good. Okay.
yeah,
Great.
sure. Yes.
All the best for your
Thank
live
you.
interview.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, so that is all for this video. I would like to wrap this video here. I hope this was insightful. If you have any more questions, any more doubts, feel free to write me in the comments, or you can also drop me an email as well. I would appreciate your feedback on the video, and tell me in the comments what would be the next topic or next video you want to see. So with that, I would wrap this video here. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please do subscribe to the channel, and happy automation.